Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Marko Attalla. I'm a P4 student, and today I'm going to be talking about a journal critique on the effect of melatonin treatment on postural stability, muscle strength, and quality of life and sleep in postmenopausal women. Some background information about melatonin. Melatonin is a natural supplement that is produced by the body to help it with sleep. It is produced at night and is being stopped produced when light comes out. Here in the USA, it is used as a dietary supplement and it's heavily used in the elderly population. However, in Denmark, melatonin is a prescribed medication at a dose of 2 milligrams. And this article is going to focus on the safety of melatonin use in a long-term care. The main side effect of melatonin is the hangover effects, which potentially can lead to falls and fractures, and this is something that we want to prevent in the elderly population. Also, the study was aimed to evaluate the effect of melatonin on balance and muscle function. The trial design was a double-blinded, randomized control study with 3 arms of the trial. The first arm was 1 milligram of melatonin to be given at night and 3 milligrams of melatonin to be also given at night, and the third arm was the placebo, and also it was 1 tablet to be given at night. According to the article, the placebo and the 1 milligram tablet and the 3 milligram tablet all looked identical to prevent any biased conclusions from occurring. Some inclusions to the trial were postmenopausal women between ages 55 and 75 years of age, and osteopenia verified by the DXA scans of total hip or lumbar spines, which was a T-score between -1 and -0.25. Some inclusions for the trial were severely impaired renal function patients, severely impaired hepatic function patients, hyperglycemia, regular use of medicine that affect the calcium homeostasis, treatment with fluvoxamine, carbamazepine, alcohol or drug abuse, smokers, severe malabsorption syndrome, including gastrointestinal resecretion, or any major medical or social problems that could potentially lead to the patients from opting out from the trial. The subjects that were presented to the trials were a total of 202 women that were asked to join, and out of the 202, 81 patients were qualified to be in the trial. They were split in 2 groups. The melatonin group, which was the 1 or the 3 milligram group, which came out to be a total of 40 patients, and then the second group was the placebo group, which was a total number of 41 patients. The primary endpoint was to see changes in the bone mineral density, and the secondary endpoints were to see changes in the calcium homeostasis, quality of life and sleep, and effects on muscle and balance function. This trial was a 12-month trial with a follow-up of approximately another 12 months. Again, the population were adult and senior females, aged 56 to 73, diagnosed with osteopenia. Some statistical analysis that were shown in the trial. Unfortunately, there were no changes in the bone mineral density or the calcium homeostasis. However, there was a statistic significance with the quality of life and sleep. Patients who were not sleeping well and they were getting disturbances during their night sleep showed results that with a small dose over the long-term 12 months trial have actually have been sleeping better and showed that they're having better quality of life. Some adverse events that were included in the trials in this trial was 2 falls occurred, one in each group, one in the melatonin group and one in the placebo group, where the ice had formed over the pavement and they fell, but that did not contribute to the melatonin. But there were 36 adverse events and 12 serious adverse events recorded, which were not given. The author's conclusion of this trial was the treatment with melatonin is safe in postmenopausal women with osteopenia. However, in women with good sleep quality, melatonin showed no effect. But in the poor sleep quality group had shown effect. The authors also concluded that there is no hangover effect affecting the balance and muscle function following the intake of melatonin, but when they took measured blood pressure, they found out that blood pressure did not change. However, they did not monitor blood pressure right after the intake of melatonin, so that could have been something that they could have checked or seen to monitor melatonin effect on the blood pressure while it's active, because it has a half-life of 30 minutes to 4 hours only. Some strength of the trial was the study was a double-blind randomized controlled trial. The study subjects were in the suitable age group where melatonin is again heavily used, and the study did establish the safety in long-term use of melatonin, which was not their primary endpoint, but they have shown results where that could be something potential in future trials. Some weaknesses that were in this trial were the study was done only in Denmark, not anywhere else, and only in one university. The study had excessive exclusions, which could have prevented more patients from enrolling, potentially leaving only healthy patients, only having diagnosis with osteopenia. And the one with no sleep disturbances did not see any results with the melatonin, so they really don't know how melatonin affected them. Again, this article showed statistic significance of better quality of life and sleep, and that was something recorded with the low dose of melatonin given on a long-term period of 12 months. Some other studies have showed that the use of 10 milligrams of melatonin in a short-term period actually shown has shown effects on the muscle and balance function. They found that the patients were being having some cognitive impairment due to the high doses. So this study has shown otherwise, that with the low dose it is safe to use in long term. In conclusion, I do agree with the trial that this, even though their primary endpoint was not to show the patients having difference in bone mineral density, however, it has shown that it could be used in good terms with patients that have poor sleep quality in long term without showing any side effects. Thank you very much, and you have a good day.